Hey, I'm DaveWeLike, and if you want helpful Roku videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Today we're checking out the Philips Roku TV OLED. I've been waiting a while to get an OLED Roku TV. I love both OLED and I love Roku TV, so hey, seems like a great combo. So with this TV, you can get up to 120 Hertz, as well as Dolby Vision IQ, AMD FreeSync Premium, so this is if you're a gamer that you want to enjoy like tear-free visuals, as well as Dolby Atmos 2.1. And it'll work with various smart home providers like your Apple, your Alexa, and Google, as well as Roku Smart Home. Once you crack open the tape at the very top of the box, you just basically slide it off, and there's your unit. So this is what the stand looks like, and the screws and the power cord, and of course, the Roku remote. The remote itself has a microphone, as well as it comes with Netflix, Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, and Prime Video as the volume controls. The feet had A and B listed on them, but I couldn't figure out where exactly that goes onto the TV. So I just kind of slid them into place, went ahead and screwed it on in. Now, if you want to plug in devices via your HDMI, I recommend you just pull off that tab. And here we got our AV in, our USB 2.0, and then you got your antenna. HDMI 1 is the eARC as well as ARC. Then there's HDMI 2 and 3 and 4. And then there's the digital out, optical, and LAN. So setting it up is just like any other Roku TV. So we click on the language that we want and our location, set it for home use, as well as set up our wireless. So we're going to set up a new connection here. And just log on into our Wi-Fi router, update the software, of course. We need to enter our Roku account. So I'm just going to do it via the QR code. So just like that, all done. And let's go ahead and watch some TV. So this is the Roku TV home screen. You can see that we're on home. This is where all our apps are located that we've downloaded. Live TV, you've got tons of free content here. Highly recommend you check it all out. Lots of free stuff. Search, that's where we search and find more content. What to watch, which is a mixture of free and premium content. And this is where our save list goes. So if you like any of this content, you hit the start button and then you can save it to your list and keep a giant log of all the stuff that you like. Then there's featured free, which basically is just 100% free content that you can watch. And daily trivia is a little game where you can play trivia. Then there's sports. If you're a big sports fan, highly recommend that you follow all your favorite teams. That way you know when they're going live on what channel. There's just tons of different sports to keep track of. Streaming store, of course, is where we can download all of the various apps on Roku. And then there's our settings. So when we add a device to our HDMI port, we can change the icon and the name. So I've plugged in my Xbox One, and you just, again, hit the start button. You can move that input. You can rename the input. There are tons of picture settings to play around with on your Roku TV. You just hit the start button when you're watching content, and then you got a menu popping on up talking about your TV brightness, the sleep timer, picture settings, sound settings, whatever it is that you want. Pretty easy to just kind of quickly go through, and you can customize your picture. You can also just let Roku handle this automatically through their AI program. So it'll optimize the picture settings for whatever it is based off of whatever you're watching. So it's in a well-lit room, and the colors are popping off the screen. It's very bright and vivid, which is exactly what you want out of an OLED. I really like where stuff is in the foreground, and then you can zoom on by it, and it's like, whoa, it's coming out of the screen. It's pretty cool to watch. Like in this fish tank, I don't know, the whites are very bright and the colors are very colorful. So, I try to play around with the settings a lot, and there were many settings that diluted the colors, but the brightness was still kind of there, and I couldn't just dim it down to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, the whites are less bright. You can kind of see that here a little bit better with his face. it just seems a little bit blown on out. So watching, a brand new trailer for this, Sonic series, it looks great. Comparing both, again, my current OLED to this new OLED, I mean, I'm not seeing much of a difference between the two of them, which, considering how much more the Sony TV was back in 2018 compared to what this brand new Philips Roku TV is, I mean, it was half the price. So really awesome to see where we've come. Of course, if you're not watching the modern stuff, you can go ahead, watch Happy Days, for example, right? I mean, looking at this, again, it does feel a little bit bright, but I guess the scene is also pretty bright too. Going to the darker scene, I mean, Star Trek Picard here. I like to just play the scene over and over because there's lots of special effects, but it's so dark. But yeah, this is maximum brightness on my old OLED TV. This on the Roku TV is playing in the Dolby Vision IQ. I don't think it is on my old Roku TV because it's coming in through a Roku soundbar that doesn't support it. Of course, there's free live TV channels on Roku, and just selecting them, you can see how fast one after the other they load. Of course, watching OLED during the daytime is always a challenge in this room. At least my old one would be really, really dark, but it looks like this Philips Roku TV is doing a good job during the daytime, kind of keeping up with the brightness of the room and the brightness on the TV. You can see a lot more detail than you could with my previous model. The audio sounds pretty good for a TV. Of course, you could always pick up like the Roku TV wireless sound bar, but for most people, it'll probably be perfectly fine. So just checking out some games. Right now I'm playing Alan Wake. I've got an Xbox One connected. So it's not necessarily going to have the latest and greatest in graphics. But again, just goes to show you that games on this TV look just as good as any other. Here's Forza Horizon 2, I believe. And I do have some Sonic gameplay from episode 4. Just keeping up with Sega, here is Shenmue, going back to the Dreamcast days. Of course, this is still on the Xbox One. Well, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments section below. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more helpful Roku videos coming soon.